Germany with another win against the Netherlands. I talked about in my last video reacting to the France game. Not too much can be taken from this game, just the fact that Germany are finally winning again and playing better than these teams and just getting deserved wins. Not lucky wins or anything, deserved wins for Germany. So huge win for the boys. We're gonna go through everything that happened in the game, how we started, players I'm impressed with, players who I think we need to double check. Nagelsmann, we need to double check your tactical calculations. We need to double check Nagelsmann and make sure that, and just make sure that, are you sure these guys are undisputed starters? And there's two players that I'm thinking of mainly here, and I think you guys might know if you follow my Twitter or if you've watched my other videos, you may know who I'm talking about, especially that last France video. You may know who I'm talking about. So, yeah, great win for Germany today in front of the home crowd in Frankfurt. Went down a goal really early. We fought back 2-1. I think in the end, just overall view of the game, I think Germany deserved the win. I think beside the big chances missed, Germany even missed more big chances than Netherlands. Let's be honest. There was spells where sometimes the Dutch had more possession and were dominating and pegging Germany back. But I felt for most of the game, Germany was in control. I felt for most of the game, Germany was in control. Very impressive what Nagelsmann has done these last two games. Like I said a couple months ago, if Nagelsmann, the first step to solving a lot of Germany's issues is choosing your core 8 or 9 players that will always start. Is it any coincidence that he finally does this? A Germany fan manager, even Hansi Flick never did this. He finally nails down these eight or nine players that he knows will start and wants to continue to start, and Germany's already playing more cohesive, already playing better. It's not a surprise to me. It's not a surprise to me. So I've been calling for this. So if anything, these last two performances for me have been a little bit of a vindication. So very happy. Today I started the day off terribly with crap news. I have to get a new car. My car's catalytic converter is shot, and now I have to scramble for a new car in the next week. So wish me luck on that. So yeah, let's just get into how the boys lined up today. How Julian Nagelsmann lined up today. 4-2-3-1 standard. Germany will probably play at the Euros at a 4-2-3-1. Same defense as the France game. Same team as the France game. Same starting team. Ter Stegen, Kimmich, Rudiger, Tah, Mittelstadt, Kroos, Andich, Havertz, Gündogan, Musiala, and Kai Havertz. And Netherlands, the Dutch, Koeman lined up his team in a 3-4-2-1. 3-4-1-2. The Dutch had almost all the only players they were missing or didn't start was Xavi Simons, Gakpo, and Frankie de Jong, and maybe Mats Wefer. I think Netherlands, this was a little bit of an experimental team, but Reynders is a starter, Malen is a starter, Depay is a starter. So this is a very strong Netherlands team. And look at that back line: Van Dijk, De Ligt, Ake. From the Bayern perspective, I like De Ligt was given a chance today. I thought De Ligt played well for the Netherlands. And I think if he continues to play like that, even though the right center back of a back three is not Matthias de Ligt's most comfortable position, I think today, despite the loss, I think he showed a good enough performance for Koeman to really start thinking, okay, maybe I should trust de Ligt more. Because let's be real, after Van Dijk retires from the national team, de Ligt is going to be the leader of this Dutch defense through the central, the very center of the defense where Van Dijk is. So like that from De Ligt. So yeah, let's just get started with the game. The game starts. Mittelstadt. It was a poor pass to Jonathan Tah. It was a bad start, but it was a bad pass by Mittelstadt. Put Jonathan Tah in a tough scenario. Netherlands counter, and in the end, I think it was Reynders that scored the volley. Yeah, it was tough. Just like a lapse of concentration, but in a way, I kind of like that because now this German team, it can't just be all hype. Now, the Frankfurt crowd went silent, dead silent. And these guys have to fight back. And like 10 minutes later, Mittelstadt scores an absolute golazo. An absolute cacalini. A cacahuate. He scored a cacahuate. That was beautiful goal from Mittelstadt. He got hype. But I like this from Mittelstadt. I might be looking too much into it, but I like that he scores the equalizer, his second game for the national team, and it's a banger to tie it against the Netherlands, Germany's biggest international rivals. I like that he didn't run to the corner flag and celebrate. I don't know if you guys noticed this. He didn't run to the corner flag, celebrate, make it about him. Look at this fantastic goal I just scored. He he started running back to let's get the game started. He did his celebration, his jumping up and down, but Mittelstadt no understands the scenario. We're playing the Netherlands, and he wanted to just get the game started right back up again and ramp up the pressure. I really, I don't know. Maybe it's just personal thing. I really like that. I like that shit, Mittelstadt. I like that shit. So you keep doing stuff like that. I mean, today was an impressive performance from him. Raum got to get some minutes in too, but Mittelstadt, I'm sure he will be the starter come the Ukraine-Greece games. If he plays like that, bro, I think he's gonna be the left back for the tournament, assuming no injuries occur. So, good stuff from Mittelstadt today. And then after that, Germany and the Dutch kind of shared dominative spells in the half, but the Dutch didn't really do anything. The Dutch didn't really do anything whenever they had the ball, and Wirtz. First of all, whoever the Frankfurt gate pitch keeper is, terrible pitch. Musiala today, he's a guy that's agile and likes to rely on his turns and everything. He kept on slipping all over the place. But either way, there was this really one nice play where he picks up the ball to Wirtz, or it was to Wirtz. First back to Musiala, plays Gündogan in. Gündogan had a really big chance, but he shot it right at the goalie. I don't even want to try and say his name. Also, it's kind of small. I can't really say, but he had a good performance today. The Dutch goalie. That's a promising young Dutch goalie for the Netherlands. So let's keep an eye out for him. But yeah, we get to the second half. First half kind of ends at that. Germany on top. Second half starts. The Dutch were actually the better team in the first 15 minutes of the second half, but Germany ended up taking control of the game again. And in the end, we were creating chances. Musiala had a big chance. Muller when he came on had a big chance. Füllkrug laid it off for him beautifully, but he couldn't put it away. But in the end, Füllkrug comes on, man. We're gonna get to this right now, but Füllkrug comes on. He scores. He scores the winning goal. It was with his shoulder, right? And it was barely goal line technology had to get involved, barely over the line. The Dutch goalie almost saved it. Really impressive reflexes from him, but Füllkrug puts it. Freddy Krueger puts it over the line. 2-1 win in the 85th minute. And yeah, very impressive. And I'm going to start there. I kind of get why Nagelsmann wants Kai Havertz to be the Germany number 9. He's a more technical player, I'm not even sure he's better in tight spaces than Füllkrug, but you could say from a basic technical level, Kai Havertz is a better player than Füllkrug with his feet, close control, and all that. We could say that, right? And the reason why he wants that is because when you have a front four of Gündogan, Wirtz, Musiala, all these technical players, Havertz is not going to be the striker, although he can be. Once in a while, he's not going to be a constant aerial threat. He's not a big physical presence. He could get bullied off the ball very easily. So he needs to be this very quick, agile, nimble striker that's getting in between lines, making runs in behind, opening for passes in between channels, and receiving the ball and being able to hold it up and to combine with Jamal Gündogan and Florian Wirtz. So I see the vision and why Havertz wants and why he's starting Havertz as striker right now to give him the minutes. But I'm sorry, when you're Niklas Füllkrug, when you were one of the only people at the World Cup busting your ass for the team and trying to come up clutch, when you are right now 12 games into your German national team career, you have played, I think it's 12 games, 11 goals and some 2 assists. He has a goal contribution every 50 minutes for the German national team. Füllkrug, in my opinion, if we want that extra goal threat, we have to go with Füllkrug. If we want that aerial threat on crosses, we need to go with him because we have guys like Joshua Kimmich and Toni Kroos who can pick out passes and crosses to Füllkrug's head at the tournament. So seriously, I really think Nagelsmann needs to rethink this because Füllkrug also, sure, he's a big guy, missing 2 teeth, muscular, aerial striker, big physical presence. But bro, technically, he's not that far off from Kai Havertz. Okay, the only thing I'll tell you is Füllkrug cannot dribble like Kai Havertz. But when it comes to the close control, the link up play, the passing, finding that layoff ball back behind the goal today, the layoff he did to Muller today, and Muller really should have scored that. That's quality, and I really think Füllkrug gives you something that Havertz doesn't. Füllkrug gives you constant He gives you that constant threat. And I feel like that's better than what Havertz does. Havertz at times is on and off. I think Füllkrug, you have to reward the guy who has been consistent in every game he's played for Germany. So that's what I think. I don't think Havertz should be the striker for the Euros. We still have the Ukraine-Greece game. I'd really love if Füllkrug got more minutes and got a start in one of those games just to prove himself. I think the Ukraine game is next, then the Greece one. In that Ukraine game, start Füllkrug, man. Let him show you why he deserves it. I really believe he does. I know there's Undav, but Undav, I'm sorry, is way too slow. Undav would be a liability to Jamal Musiala and Florian Wirtz and Gündogan. He would be a liability. Let me tell you this right now. So he could be a nice third string, even maybe second string striker coming off the bench at the Euros. And the other player I want to touch on, everyone else was fine. Obviously, we know Ter Stegen. First of all, Ter Stegen should have saved. If that was Neuer in the goal, Neuer saves the Netherlands goal. Let's be honest. I don't know what Ter Stegen was doing, but again, Ter Stegen kind of showing why, even though he had a good game against France, Neuer is the number one. So barring Ter Stegen, everyone else is making a strong case for them to keep their starting spots. Obviously, Mitos that I talked about, Joso Kimmich is the best right back in the world already after he returned to position, in my humble opinion. Ta and Rudiger, good partnership. Kroos, Andrich, Andrich and Kroos are forming a great partnership. I like the way they mesh with each other on the field. I still do think if Goretzka keeps playing the way he does, I know Pascal Gross got some minutes today. If Goretzka keeps playing the way he does, I can really see him starting next to Kroos at the Euros opening day against Scotland. So let's just wait and see on that. But Andrich having strong games. Musiala, Wirtz always having strong games. Gündogan, this is the guy I want to talk on. I know I said Havertz. I prefer Füllkrug. I really think, and I mentioned this in the last video, Nagelsmann has really dug himself in a hole here, making İlkay Gündogan the undisputed captain, standing by him and not making Neuer captain again. He really messed up here. Because I'm going to be honest, it's just, I know it's only been 2 games as the number 10 for the national team, but it's just not it. I think you're really missing out on an opportunity where you could be playing Florian Wirtz as the attacking mid through the middle, playing Musiala on the left, and playing either Chris Furic or Leroy Sané on the right side. And you have guys like, if Gnabry ends up making the team, or guys like Jan-Nicolas Besta or Chris Furic coming off the bench, or Leroy, depending on who's chosen, really bolsters your bench options in attack. And I just don't, Gündogan he did not show enough for me as a 10. And I think that's a waste because Florian Wirtz is probably one of the best attacking midfielders in Europe this season as an 18-year-old. So I really think, sure, Wirtz and Musiala can still do the job on the right, and Wirtz can still do a job on the left, but his strongest position is through the middle. Jamal is much more effective coming off the left than on the right, and Sané and Chris Furic are very good coming off the right. So that's where the issue is. Gündogan is the captain. You can't stake by the guy, name him captain, and then bench him. You can't. So that's the whole Nagelsmann has kind of dug himself in. So I think, even though he shouldn't be starting, or he shouldn't be, he could start, but my main thing is for İlkay Gündogan is he should not have the title of undisputed starter. He shouldn't. But he's the captain, so he will. So Wirtz, Musiala, Jan-Nicolas Beste, Chris Furic, Leroy Sané, potentially Gnabry are going to be competing for those wing spots. So it's not the end of the world. More competition is healthy, but yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I don't know. Nagelsmann. I feel like Nagelsmann really dug himself in a hole there, and standing by him and not making Neuer captain. I don't think it would have been too offensive to make Neuer captain again. İlkay knows Neuer is that guy. Neuer's the alpha of the team. He will gladly give up the captain's armband to Manuel Neuer. Would he not? So that's all I have to say on the game. I'm just really happy we got 2 wins in a row against France, against the Dutch. Yes, they're friendlies, but those are 2 very, very strong teams. And yeah, I'm very impressed with the boys these last 2 games. I'm very impressed with most of these players. I've given you my worries about Gündogan and Havertz, but they haven't been terrible. But if we want to go into the Euros serious, I'm just saying we need to consider if Gundogan and Havertz are really the guys we want starting. But, overall over these last two games, the video I made months ago on what Julian Nagelsmann need to do, he nailed that core 11 guys, and he got core 8 or 9 players that start. And you could see now this team plays better with each other when all the players are not, forming partnerships and comfortable with the same guys around them on the field. I really think it's not a coincidence. So, continuity is a really big thing in international football. That's why Gareth Southgate, for example, chooses Maguire and Stones as a partnership every single time. You know what I mean? So, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Like I said, though, the Ukraine and Greece games are going to be bigger tests for this Germany team before that Scotland June 14th matchup, opening day at the Euros. Those Greece and Ukraine games, two teams that will sit back and try to counter you, those are the teams, like I said, that have killed Germany the last 5 years. So let's wait until June for those games. Let's take this win with a grain of salt. Let's go forward with caution. We move in silence. This Germany team might be cooking something, and Julian Nagelsmann proving every day that FC Bayern, you guys messed up sacking this guy. He's a great manager, and I feel like he's cooking something. I feel like he's cooking for something for the Euros, but we move in silence, guys. We move in silence. Thanks for watching. Peace.